Lovely.
Okay. All right. I'm using the free version of Zoom, by the way. So if it times out, just log back in again.
Yeah. Yeah. Same as I've got.
Yeah. I used to have the paid version, but I didn't use it enough, so I canceled the subscription. Right.
Right.
Okay. Right. So there's a couple of things I wanted to do today, but I can be flexible. So if anyone has something that they would like to learn how to do, I can change tactics slightly as well. Um, what I was going to do is, so let me know if this is something you want to learn. What I was going to do is, that like we're going to be doing a whole bunch of training with this boot camp from Monday.
Yes.
And I suspect one of the things that they might be teaching us is how to spruce up our Instagram. And I don't know if anyone wants help learning how to do, can you see where my arrow is? Learning how to do something like this to give their Instagram a nice professional look. Anyone keen on that, or there's something else that you want to learn?
Is this on? Oh, this is on Instagram.
Yeah, so you know where I've got
Yeah.
Star Wars travel advisor say hello.
Yes.
I can show you how to design something like this, or if there's something else you want to focus on, I can do that as well.
When you say design something like that, put like the words and the in the circle.
Yeah, so how to put something in a circle and yeah, but basically customize it for your own.
Oh, okay. Okay. I wouldn't mind. I don't know what anyone else feels, but I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I'd be interested in learning about that too.
Right, okay. So if I go to my Canva, so what you would do for something like this, so what I can also do a bit later on, being selfish, if anyone decides to go for the paid version, I've got an affiliate link that I can share with you later as well. But anyway, so just to get started, so let's just say that you wanted to get that branding for your social media, for your Instagram. So
Okay.
although it's
Can you see the screen with my
oh,
mouse moving around?
what's going on there?
Yes. Yes.
That's weird. That's like a loop. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Right. So although this is a circle, in order to get it up, what you have to do, you have to post an Instagram story. And once you've done the Instagram story, you can then use that story to create these. So although it's round, the actual format of the file that you would create is actually going to be, so if I go to create a design, the format's actually going to be Instagram story. So it may sound weird because that's not what you see, but that's actually what you're going to be using. Okay. So the first step that you would do is you would go to something here called elements. And from elements,
Elements. Is it elements, did you say?
yes. So I use the desktop version. So I know there's a mobile version, but I don't like it. My eyes are can't read mobile properly, and you get more features on the desktop version anyway. So what you would do, you would go to elements. So if you're on a
Oh
PC,
yeah, I can
it's going
see
to
it.
be the top left.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you go to elements, what you can do, you can type all kinds of things. So let's just say I wanted to type circle. Circle. Yeah. So I can type circle and
So, excuse me, Albert.
yeah.
So to disturb you, Ruth says she's waiting to get let in.
Oh, okay. Sorry, let me have a look.
Do you want to make me co-host and I can, in case anybody else?
Oh yes, there's two people actually. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Oh, Ruth Violet has joined. They both joined now.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just oh, okay. Oh, do you know what? Because I've got the free version, I can't make you co-host. So if I make you host, you will be taken over. Yeah.
No, no. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. So if anyone could maybe just keep an eye out in case anyone's trying to come in.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So you see, right, so I'll do that again. So I can do circle, and let's just say I just do enter. And you see I've got shapes, graphics, photos, etc. So let's just say I
Mhm.
put graphics.
Yes.
Now, you see the first one I did there. So I could, if I wanted to, let's just say that I wanted to do text with a background. What I would do is I would maximize the shape here. I would then center it, and you see as I'm moving it around, a line appears. So you will have a horizontal line, but you'd also have a vertical line if it's in the center. Now, because I'm not seeing that, so let me just reduce the size slightly. So you see now you've got a cross.
Mm.
So it needs to be a solid line, both horizontal
Yes.
and vertical. If
Yes.
if it's not solid, it means it's off center. So sometimes you get, although it's not shown in this instance, sometimes you get like a dotted line. Um, and if it's a dotted line, it means it's close to center, but not quite. So that could be the first step. And then you have the ability to customize the color as well. So once that image or that element has been highlighted, you just click here, the color, and then you have the option of changing the color. So that's one thing that you can do. Another thing that you can do is, let's just say that you didn't want a solid color, but you wanted to, for example, put a ring around something. So maybe you might choose something like this. So same thing again, or maybe you might say, do you know what, that ring is too thin, let me use a thicker ring. There's so much flexibility. So I could do the same thing. I can maximize that circle as well. Just for the people who are coming in, I'm showing people how to give their Instagram a more professional look. So I'm showing people how you might design this thing here, the highlights that you get in Instagram. So that's what I'm showing at the moment. So if I go back to my Canva, so you see now even though visually you might think it's in the middle, it's always best to make sure you see that those crosshairs. And then the same thing again, I can highlight it and I can change the color to something that, you know, I'm not trying to be aesthetic, I'm just doing any other thing. So you see now I've changed the color. So there's always room for customization. And I can even, if I get that right, I can even change the thickness. Okay, no, that's the wrong one. Okay, so one thing to also watch is that once you're adding things to it, you're going to have layers. So you see at the moment, this is on top of the orange, but let's just say for some reason you wanted the orange to be on top of the purple, or you just wanted to action something that's, you wanted to make sure you want to make sure you're highlighting the right objects to change its properties. So if I go to this one, I can, let's just say I want to change the, oh, sorry, I can, let's just say I want to, yeah, I was showing you thickness, wasn't I? So if I wanted to change the thickness, no, still the wrong one. Okay, make sure I've got the right one. Okay, this is a, okay, yeah, no, it's not a pure circle. It's a circle with a square. That's why it's doing that. Okay, but let's just see. Yeah, okay, no, you can't change the thickness of that. But there's some things where you can change the thickness, but because that's not the absolute border, I can only change the thickness of the square part, which is what I was doing there. So I could, if I wanted to do something like that. Okay, so that's just an example of that. And then when I come to text, I can just highlight text on the left again. And you've got different kinds of fancy designs that you can use one of these. So this could be useful, let's just say, if you were doing some kind of logo. So you could design a logo, change the text. When you highlight it, you can change the color, or maybe you might want it to match the border. So you've got that flexibility as well. And then you can also change the size like that. Now, let's just say that you're happy with that, but you want to make some adjustments. Let's just say that is something else. So let's just say you want to make this bigger. You see that I've adjusted the size of it by manipulating it like that. Now, let's just say that it wasn't the highlights that you were trying to do, but this was something that you wanted to incorporate as part of an actual post or something like that. So what you can do is now, what you might do as a beginner, you might instinctively go like this and then drag it and then go, oh, oops, no, it's all gone out, it's all misaligned. So what you have to do, you have to highlight everything, if you see that, and then you make it into a group. So although they're all different layers, they will now behave as a single object. So I can reduce the size, have it as a single object, do whatever I like with it. And so let's just say I'm doing some kind of Instagram post. I might do, for example, I'll go back to elements. And this time I might type the beach. If I go to the beach, now what I could do, because I've got the paid version, I might want to go to a video. So I might say, for example, I like the look of, I might say, I like the look of this. So what I could do here, I can maximize it. Now you see the first, you've got a stumbling block again, it's gone in front of this. So what I do, the item that I have highlighted, I go to position, and I have the option of going all the way to the back or backwards. Now, if I do backwards, it means I'm going one level back at a time in stages. If I go to the back, it means it's gone right to the back, so there's no fiddling around. So let's just say that I want this to be the background. I might center it so that she's in the middle of the image. And I might say, oh, that's quite cool. I'm going to do a little post. So you see that's running. But I might say to myself, the volume is too loud. So what I do, while the video is highlighted, I go to audio and I can adjust the volume accordingly, because I may or may not want to add volume afterwards within Instagram, so I can adjust that. And what I could also do, and this is what depending on those of you that might follow me on WhatsApp sometimes what I would do, I will break up my videos. So sometimes when I do a live or something like that, I will record that live and save the video, because I have the ability to split it up into more than one. So it's giving me more content. You see what I mean? So, does anyone have any questions at this stage, or am I going too fast? How are you getting on?
Yeah, fine, thank you. I just wanted to say with the grouping, what came to mind is something that I would do, say, on Word, if I had things that I wanted to kind of link together. It's the same approach that you're using here. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, and you'll find that the skill set with various applications kind of like it's what's that term?
Okay.
It goes across different platforms. So depending on how IT literate you are, you can be quite intuitive across different platforms. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so imagine this. So just in case you do or don't know, when you do like posts, because of a lot of people have a short attention span these days. So the advice that people sometimes give is that a post should be uh, up to 7 seconds or something like that. It's not universal. Sometimes a post needs to be longer, but that's just something for you to know. So let's just say I wanted to split this into 3 separate posts. So what I could do, so if you see what I did there, I highlighted the video. I went to the scissors, and then from the scissors, I can reduce the time. So if you see that the time is reducing as I squeeze it up, let's just say I make it 5 seconds. Okay. And then what I can do here, I could, if I go down to it here, you've got 3 dots, and I can select duplicate. And once I do duplicate, so what I've got is the first 5 seconds here, and then on the second one, so this is how I split my videos. I make sure I highlight the second one, and then when I go to the scissors again, I will drag this across, and then I'll add another 5 seconds, just did it roughly. And then what I could do here, I could go to the second one, duplicate. I go to the one that's been created, I highlight the video again, and this time I drag it across again. And now I've got three separate videos that are neatly joined, or I can download them separately to post at different times. So, what you might want to do, for example, just as an example, you might say to yourself, "I'm going to do something like this. This is a," and I could change the color if I wanted. So let's just say I want to make it blue. No, actually, no. Let's just say I want to make it white. But because of the light background, I want to highlight it a bit just in case I feel it's not visible enough for me. So what I would do then is while the text is highlighted, I would go to effects, and then I might decide to make it neon, or I might decide to give it an outline. And let's just say that I want to give it a outline with a different color. So I could go for this color to match the logo thing in the corner. I can change the thickness. And then what I could do, because I've created three separate videos, what I can do is I can copy it. This is, oh, okay, no, let me drag that. So one cool thing, because you can see all of those below, I'm on the wrong one, but I can drag it down to the first one. If I'm now on the first one, so I can say, this is A, and then I can copy, paste. And the nice thing about it is when you paste, it will paste in the same relative location. So I can type, this is A. So that's the second one. And then I'll copy again, paste again, and it will paste to the same relative location. And I can just do, this is a pretty cool idea. So based on that, I've now got three separate stories or whatever that I can put into my content coming from one single item. Any questions? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how would you post them into three different, how would you actually do that? Would you do it on a different day, or
Um,
otherwise you'll have three that are the same but just
yeah.
separate?
So people have different ways of doing it. Again, I'm not saying I'm a guru. I'm just saying what I do. So
Mm,
so
of
one thing
course.
so one thing that I've started doing recently is I might tell a little bit of a story, but break it up through a single day. So I've started doing it where I may have done like say a live that lasts about 3 minutes. Then I'll split it into six parts, and then I'll post it um, one every hour or something like that. But
Okay.
but then what I would do, I will, so that people know that. So again, this is just something that I've been doing. I don't know if it's good for everyone, but it's just an idea that popped into my head. So what I do, I will then, for example, I will do something like this: one of three.
Okay.
Um, I would do one of three. Um, I may give it. I'll go to elements, and I might give it something like that. You know, I'm not trying to be creative in terms of the look. I'm just showing you the process. So you may or may,
Yes,
yeah.
I understand.
Right. So I might do that. Uh, Now you will see that when you've got that, again, you see you always have to be careful to highlight the right objects.
Mm,
So let's just say I've got that. When you move it around, you see some dotted lines that will center it within that shape, if you can see those dots. So then you know it's right in the center of that.
okay. Yes.
And then what you could do then is, now sometimes it's a bit fiddly because when you're trying to highlight, it may or may not highlight other stuff within the image that you don't want it to. But let's see how I get on. I can do group again, which means I can move this around as a single object. So I might do, for example, one of three. I can rotate it if I want to be needlessly creative. So then what I could do here is, again, it's in the wrong location. So I can drag it to number one.
Mm.
And then I can do copy. I can change that to 2 or 3. And then when I've done all of them, when I download it, what again, this is just what I've been doing recently that just came to my mind. So what I would do is when I upload the story, within the story, I will add a link to the full version of it. So let's just say that I'm saying something that some people might find interesting. And say, oh, what's the end of that sentence? So, but then they will know that is one of a series of 3 to 6 video clips. So rather than wait a few hours to get the whole story, they can just click on the link that takes them to the full version of the video. So that's just something that I've been experimenting with last couple of weeks. Yeah.
Mm. It's
So
good.
yeah, so that's what I did. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it encourages people to keep looking if they're interested, or I wonder what comes next.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so that's the experiment that I've been doing. So if we go back to the original, so if I duplicate this, so basically I can just what was I doing? Yeah, so if I just go to duplicate this, and the nice thing about this is because so long as you remember to duplicate, you can always fiddle around, but always go back to what you were working on before, so you don't have to worry about losing your work. But having said that, you can also click the backwards button here to undo what you've just done. So that duplicate has just disappeared. That duplicate has now reappeared again. But let's just say we go to the original thing that we were doing. You're trying to create the circle for your highlights. So if I go back to that, I can, because it's all as a group, I can just maximize that, center it, and then save it, upload it to Instagram as a story. Yeah, as a story. And then, because what happens is once you basically the way that, just in case for anyone who doesn't know, what highlights are, what highlights are what do you call it? They are, it gives you the ability to highlight stories that you want people to notice. So basically what you would do within your mobile phone, I don't think you can really do it on here. Let me try. Oh yeah, you can. Yeah. So let's just say that I wanted to call it whatever I wanted to call it. New highlight. Next. And then it will look to my stories, and that can be the highlight. So imagine that. Yeah, because I don't think I can. Yeah. So this is only looking at my Instagram. It won't look on my PC. So imagine I've already made that a story. It will be the latest one there. And then that story would be the default image for that highlight, if you see what I mean.
Sorry, could you do that bit again? I missed it, how you got those pictures.
All right, so I just click new.
Yep.
I give the highlight a name. So I could call it, for example, my business.
Mm-hmm.
Or what you will see sometimes is that, people who travel a lot, they have something like,
Mexico,
yeah, exactly.
Panama.
Yeah. So what you would do is you click next. Then you could select what you want to be the default image for that highlight.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say this was the default
Okay.
image.
Yeah.
And then once you've got that highlight, you can continue to highlight things, but the one you choose as the default image will always remain at the front. So for example, this one is, because I've done this one as the image, I click on that, and then it will show various things related to travel. But the image will always be the one that I chose as the image.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's basically how you do that. Right. So now I prefer to be short and sweet with teaching people things. So I'd say that'll be enough for today. But if you guys are interested, I can do more again. So whether you,
Yes, please.
yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So maybe I can do another one in a couple of weeks' time or a week's time, depending on the interest. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. Gives us a chance to play around with it and see what
Mm.
we can do.
Yeah. Okay.
Albert, can I just ask?
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got highlights, but I did them a different way, which is fine. I now know how to do it through Canva.
Yeah.
But what I struggle with is adding pictures in. Like I've got a couple of highlights that I've got maybe 10 or so pictures.
Yeah.
If I went to do it again with a different topic, I can only get one picture. I can't get other things in there. Is there a way to add to it?
You're limited with the number of highlights, or what do you mean?
No. I've got different highlights. So I've got one for inspiration and one for travel, whatever. But
Yeah.
the one I did for Mexico,
Yeah.
I can only get one of my pictures from Mexico in there. For some reason, I can't add any other
Ah,
pictures
right.
in the
Okay.
highlight.
So I think what that is you can't add your reels or posts, but you can add your stories. So what you would need to do, whatever else you want to add to it, repost it as a story, and then you've got 24 hours to add that to the highlight. That could be what. No, am I
Is that
talking
really
rubbish? No,
real?
no, no. Actually, no, that's not true. Yeah, anyway, but I would do that as an experiment. If okay, because okay, let me just try something. So
Because the other ones sorry to cut you.
yeah,
The other ones I did,
yeah,
I just put it, I'm not sure if they were posts on my feed or
yeah.
whatever.
Now,
I
now,
can't remember how I did it, and now I've
yeah,
it,
yeah. I think I'm talking rubbish. No, you don't have 24 hours. I don't think. I could be wrong, but no. Basically, the key is, but I think it does have to have been a story at some point. So the images that you're talking about, if they were a reel as opposed to a story,
Mm.
when you add to it, it's not going to be visible. So it needs to have been a real, so it needs to have been a story at some point in time. Then you should be able to locate it. So what I would do as a test, whatever image you're talking about, do that as a story today, and then you should find that it would be visible for you to add it to that highlight. That's what I would. That's the experiment that I would do instinctively.
So the stories are the 24 hours
yeah.
and the reels are the permanent ones.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm probably going to time out any second. So
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, that's the experiment that I would do. If you're saying that you've got something to do with Mexico, you cannot see it when you try and highlight it. It probably means that you've had it as a reel or a post. So post it again, but this time as a story, and then you should hopefully be able to add it.
Okay.
That would be my gut instinct.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So just out of curiosity, is everyone here in the business, or I see that there's 10 people.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Got a
Yes.
question.
Yes, me too.
Hi. Hello.
Lola.
Hi. Are you in the business? Who was that who just says hi?
I
Viola?
am. I am.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So right. Yeah. Okay. So right. Okay. So I suppose yeah, that's it. Unless anyone has a question before it times out, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I've got a question.
Okay.
So you're talking about highlights. So usually, I create highlights within Instagram, but what you're teaching us here is about creating highlights in Canva and then post it as highlights.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, it's two ways of doing the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we're Canva focused on the zoo.
Yeah.
I'm showing how people had to do stuff on Canva. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I will try it out. I mean, I've had a go at Canva, kind of have a little idea to help me, but I'll
This is
play around with what you said, and then hopefully by the next time I will catch on a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, thanks for attending, everyone, and yeah,
Thank you for hosting.
that's okay. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, if there's interest, we can do another one.
yeah.
I can be flexible with the time. I did it before, but not enough people were attending, so I just said, not to bother. But if there's enough interest,
Oh,
I'd like to
okay.
do this on a regular basis. Yeah,
Okay, that'd be great.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you
would
so
be
much.
great.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Definitely,
Thank you so
definitely.
much for
No problem.
sharing your talent with us so that we can benefit.
Yeah, it's gold dust. Thanks.
No problem. Well, we've all got different skill sets, so I can come to you lot for other stuff. So
Okay.
Say that bit again.
I said we all have different skill sets. That's the beauty of this business. So we can all come
Mm.
together for different things.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
true.
Yeah,
That's true. Thank you, Albert.
that's okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
very
Thank
much.
Have a
you.
good
Thank
weekend,
you.
everyone.
Fantastic.
You
Thank you.
too.
Bless you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye bye.